Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Juliana. If you've not been on my channel before, you are quite welcome, and if you are returning, then welcome back. Today we are going to be doing eyebrow tutorial, and as you can see, if you're wondering why my eyebrows are different, it's because I've done two types of brows. I've done your everyday brow on this side, and I've done your extra brow on the side, and I will show you how. If you're interested in knowing how I achieved both eyebrows, then keep on watching. As mentioned earlier, we are going to be doing a brow tutorial today, and what I'm going to do is on this eye I'm going to do an everyday brow, and on this eye I'm going to do an outing brow, like a party or a function, or if you want to be extra. So that's going to be this brow. Your everyday brow will be this brow. There's a couple of things you need to do when it comes to doing your brows. The first thing is to groom your brows. So for example, all the strays on the brow, to pluck them or to shave them or whatever you do. And there are three things that you can do. You can thread them, which means in going to a professional to have them threaded in. They have a way of using threads to kind of like pick the stray ends of your brows, or you can pluck them by using tweezers. Those two things makes me cry, so I tend not to pluck my brow or to thread my brow. So what I would normally use is I shave my brows. So I shave it using this little shaving stick, shaving blade, if you like, if you want to call it. It's from Primark, and it's called brow trimmer and comb for shaping and combing the eyebrow. So this is from Primark. It's a pack of 2, and it was sold for £4 at the time I bought it. So this is what it looks like. So it's got like a brush side and it's got a comb side, and you pull it out and you get a blade, like a little blade. So it's not like the same thing that you would use to shave any other part of your body or anything. This is like very tiny and precise, and that's what I use to shave any edges that I don't want to be there. A couple of things you're gonna need for your brows is you're gonna need pencils, eyebrow pencils. So I use black and brown, and I use banging brunette, and I also do the same thing when it comes to the pomade. So I use 2 pomades, black and brown and banging brunette. So when I want the extra brows, that's when I use the pomade. For everyday brows, I just stick to the pencil. That's what I do. All right, then the next thing you need is a brow gel. So this brow gel, you can use it for before you've done your brows and after you've done your brows, as I will demonstrate when I'm doing my everyday brows. Okay, so now let's go into the everyday brows. So the first thing you want to do to make your life easy is just use the brow gel all over your brows. So what this is going to do is it's going to stiffen your brow hairs. So it's going to stiffen and give it shape, as you can see. So this is not giving it extra color as it's clear. You can use a colored one if you like, which I like to do sometimes when I don't even have time to use a pencil. Because there are times I don't have time to use a pencil, I just put brow gel on it and I'm out of the door. Okay, what you would do is you would then outline, because for your brows to pop, you need a line underneath your brows. I mean, anybody that has a very full brow, you have that, you see that they have like an even line underneath the brow. So for some of us that have sparse brows, the best thing to do is then to line. So you want to start from the angle of your nose. That's how you know where your brow should start. So put your pencil by your nose. So mine is right here, and that's where I'm going to start the pencil from. And I'm just going to draw a line. By putting the brow gel, it's kind of giving me precise drawing, so it's not all over the place because the hair is already stiffened. That's the line there. So if you wanted to be out of the house, you could easily just brush it up. If you have like 30 seconds really to do your brow, and you're out. I mean, as you can see now, this is slightly better than the one I have no product in. So if you're in a precise hurry, if you're in a quick hurry, you would need to be out of the house, then this is what you do, and you're out of the house. That's sufficient. Sometimes during a working day, this is what I do. That's all I do, and I'm out of the house. Okay, all right. But because we have a bit of time, we are going to go further. So what you want to do, remember this is a light bit, so you want to do brow strokes. You want to do like precise strokes in the front, almost like you're feathering your brow. So you kind of like drawing a line right there in the front, just to give it more volume. All right, then I'm going to swap to the darker one, because I want the dark end of my brow to be prominent. I want the end to be prominent. So I'm going to use the black and brown to add some colors. And you end it wherever you want to end it. I usually just end it a little bit after the outer edge of my eye. The next thing to now do is to use a brush to blend everything together. And if your brow pencil has a spoolie at the end of the pencil, you can use a spoolie, but I'm going to use a specific brush that is made for eyebrows. So this is a Beauty Bay brush. So what you want to do is you want to then brush up all those hairs, all the places that you filled. You want to brush the hair up so that nobody can see the line you drew on top or at the bottom. And then specifically when you come to the front, you really want to brush this out because you want it to be looking natural. See. And I usually take it further and dip my brush in a powder. So you want to go to your face powder, and it's just really to, so dip my brush in the powder, and I'm going to put it in the front to kind of feather it. Further, what it does is it further fades away. It further kind of reduces the color in the front to give it like a natural brow look. And that's it for an everyday brow. Okay, and that's what I would do on a normal day basis. Just for the purpose of this video, I will put some gel over the brow, and all the gel does is it makes sure that your brow hair stays in place all day and they don't fade. Okay, and that's it for the everyday brow. For the extra brow, what I would normally do is I start with the pencil. Again, I will start with the banging brunette. So I start with a pencil and draw an outline of how I want my brows to be. Okay, again, measuring it with my nose. I'm going to start right there. So make sure it's in line with the other side. Make sure those two are in line. So again, I'm going to start, and then I'm going to make sure that they are in line. So I'm starting from there. Now your brows is going to be different sometimes based on what your eyeshadow shape looks like. I mean, there are some days I have to change the shape of my brows depending on what eyeshadow I've applied and the style I've applied. If I do a spotlight eye, I would normally do my eyebrows in a different way. So as I'm going, I'm making sure that line is straight and blended upwards. Okay, when I come to the end, because I want it to be darker, I'm going to swap my pencils again. Don't forget, this is the extra brow, so it needs to really scream posh. You need to scream glam. Okay, as you can see, this is good enough. Then I take the lighter pencil and I draw a line in the front. And again, I will do this stroke. I mean, this is good on its own, but to take it the extra mile, this is where the pomade comes in. All right, so again, for the dark end, for my end over here, I will use black and brown, and this is where that brush comes in. So I dip my brush into the pomade, and then make sure you wipe off the excess, because the last thing you want is too much on your brows. So wipe off the excess and go back to the tail. You'll see the difference what the pomade does now. See, what the pomade does is it gives a brow-like effect, so a hair-like effect, so it looks like your natural brows. All right, and you see the difference. That pomade is taking it to a whole different level. And I'm now going to go into the lighter pomade shade. So again, dipping into the pot, and don't forget to wipe off the excess. So I'm going to do exactly the same as I did on the outer hand. I'm now going to do hair-like strokes in the front, and make sure that it's outlined at the top as well. So sometimes I swap the way I'm applying. I swap from using just the end, and I just swipe up to make sure the color goes on there. So again, I swipe upwards. And that's it. So the next thing now to do is, don't forget, because this is the outing brow, we need to make sure that the brows are shaped. Even though I haven't made a mistake, I really don't need to clean up the underneath, but I'll show you how to do that anyway. So what you need for that, you need a concealer. Dab a little bit on the back of your hand, and then go into your brush. So I'm going to use an angled brush. So what you want to do is then dip your brush into the concealer, so both sides, and then you want to just shape in underneath the brow. So you start from where the beginning of the brow, and then just kind of like follow the shape of the pencil that you used earlier. So basically what he's doing is like cleaning it up, making it precise, as if you use a blade to cut your lid. So what this will also do, if you have any stray hair, this concealer will hide them. So if you haven't had chance to kind of like groom or trim your brows or anything like that, what this concealer will do is it will hide all those extra hair that are out of place. I also use this for the top. So again, dip into the concealer. Be very, very careful. So you just use on the hand as well. So I'm gonna use it to precisely just underneath the line I drew. Be careful you don't mess up what you've done already. So I'm just following the shape of the brow that I've drawn. What you want to do is then pull it up. I mean, some people will usually do their brows before they do their face makeup, but I always finish my face makeup before I do anything. So I've got to be careful it doesn't mess with my base, because I've already powdered my face. So, and then come onto the underneath, the one I did underneath, and then just blend it down. Now what I'm going to do is go onto a normal brush and just make sure that concealer disappears into my skin. Just pat it in. Pat it in. As you can see, there's no, because I've used the same shade as my skin, you can't tell that I used a concealer underneath my eye, because I use the same, it's blended into my skin, which is really the best way to do your brow. Don't use concealer that is so much lighter than your skin tone that everybody can see that you're shaping your brow. You see the difference between the two brows. So this is precise. This is precise and more shaped than my everyday brow, because I mean, I don't know who goes out like this every day. Certainly not me. Outing, yes, this is my extra brow. Every day, this is good enough for me. And if you're not, until you get very used to applying your brows, then you can, this is good enough. The pencil one where no pomade was involved, is just drawing a line, you know, that is good enough. When you get used to it, then you do this. Also, now I'm gonna also do the more of the feather stroke, just to fade away the front. And I can do this by dipping it again in powder or the concealer. So for now, I'm going to try the powder, and I'm going to fade away this front. That's it. That is how you do your brows. Every day. Extra. Alright, that's it, guys. I hope you've learned something from this video. Let me know in your comments if this video was useful for you. If it was useful, please give it a thumbs up, and consider subscribing to my channel if you haven't. Thanks for watching, and until next time, bye.